Take a trip with me beyond the veil, where true crime and the supernatural intertwine. This is Bloodlines and Secrets. Y'all, so I was laying in bed one morning before my alarm went off for work on a weekday. At the time, I lived in a duplex and I lived on the top floor, on the second floor. So out the front yard was outside of my bedroom window. Then there was a fence and then the neighbor's yard. So I'm lying back, dreading the sound of my alarm. So I started hearing these voices outside. It sounded like they were so close, it sounded like they were in the yard. So I was debating whether I need to get up and kind of check it out, or if it was somebody at the neighbor's property. Maybe they were having work done or something like this. But this would have been between like 5:30, 6:30 a.m. So I'm lying there trying to make out what they're saying. So finally I get up, peek out the blinds. Nobody. There's nobody there. Nobody. And then I was like, that's fucking weird. So I lay back down. I hear the voices again. They resume. It sounds like two adult men talking. So the next thing you know, my body, it felt like it was vibrating, like I was being tuned, like a tuning fork, or like a radio station when you're trying, like when you're stuck in between stations and it's like, that's the only way I can describe it. It felt like my body was being tuned to a frequency. And it felt like I was shaking at a high rate, but I knew it wasn't like my physical body. It was like my spiritual body. So I just went with it. I was like, this what we doing now? So I did, I just made a decision to just go with it. Those voices got lower and lower and lower to the point where it was like this garbled tone. And I was like, that's a demon voice. Like, those are fucking demons. That shit scared me. So I got up and my son was in high school, maybe. Yeah, I think he was in high school at the time. I knocked on the door. I was like, listen, I briefly told him what happened. I said, I'm about to go on a journey, or ask my angels to take me on a journey to figure out what the fuck is going on, right? So I said, but if I'm not up in 10 minutes, you come and wait, get me out of it. He's like, okay. So I go back to my room, I lay back down, and I called on one of the angels that I work with, and I was like, I know I'm kind of like off the chain. I was like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like, what is that? What is going on? Can you tell me what's going on? So after I talk all that shit and ask for help from my angel, I lay back, and next thing you know, I'm like leaving my body. So I think I've told you guys this before. It's like I go straight up wherever it's taking me. So the next thing you know, we get to this room, and there are people standing in front of us, and they're all talking at the same time, all of them. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And so I could never make out individually what they were saying, but they're all talking. And there was one woman that I remember that had on like this really big hat, and she was dressed like for Easter Sunday. And then I started paying attention to and noticing what people were wearing. And then I look around and I'm like, I'm in a funeral home. And it was crazy because there were like two rows of people. In the first row, there were a couple of kids, and the expressions on some of the people's faces were confusion. and I don't even know if they realized they were dead. And I remember I was like, I said, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And then I was taken back. And over the years, I have sought out readers. You know, I've had readings, and several of them have said that I was a medium. And I was like, I'm not doing that shit. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want that. And, you know, a couple of them, of the readers said, you know, it's your choice. If you don't want it, tell them, and then you'll stop having those experiences. And so that's what I did. I was like, don't ever, because I would have other instances of people like showing up, but I made it very clear, I don't want that. I do not want that gift. Like, I keep the intuition part, but I don't want to, I don't know, that may sound mean, but like guide people towards the light, that kind of thing. Because having experiences or encounters with people that like don't know that they're dead, or they're dead, like when you can see like the circumstances, like that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy going out. And then it's just a lot. And it's hard to break like an energetic connection. Or I guess it's hard for me. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But now I'm like, am I an asshole for not wanting to do that? Like, if that was a gift that was given to me to help people cross over, should I have accepted that? And because I didn't accept it, is that hindering me in other areas of my life? Like, does that make me out of balance? These are just some of the things that I think about. So if you've had any experiences like that, let me know. If there are any mediums out there, I want to hear from you. Please say something in the comments. Let me know your experiences and what it was like when you first realized you had a gift, or first realized that you were communicating or having contact with people that hadn't crossed over yet, and that was part of your gift to the world. So I want to hear about all that. So let me know if you like this video. Like, share, and subscribe. Stick around for next week's episode. Bye-bye.